You've got to get present to the moment. You've got to be present and live in the moment, live in the now. You've heard these things right, but what even is the present moment exactly? I've been exposing myself to teachings rooted in Eastern spirituality and practicing meditation and mindfulness for many years now, and I realized that words and concepts are pretty clumsy tools for describing something that at its very core is beyond words and concepts. There's a wide range of interpretations and ways of pointing towards the same thing, but nevertheless, let's explore what's usually meant when referring to the present moment. What's up everyone, it's Alex here at Conscious Personal Growth, where we share strategies for personal transformation and deepening our awareness. So if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Now. It's the present moment. It always has been and it always will be. Maybe to you it seems obvious, or maybe you're scratching your head thinking, what? But either way, how do we know? Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, has a brilliant way of illustrating this. Think back to a time in the past when you were, say, around about the age of 12. Anything that happened then happened in the past, right? But in reality, when it actually happened, it happened in the now. And the same applies for anything that's going to happen in the future. When it happens, it won't happen in the future. It will happen in the now. So we can think about the future and we can think about the past, but has anyone ever actually been to these places? Has anyone ever actually stepped outside the present moment? I mean, let's say they could do. Let's say you could step out and go to the past. Well, once you got there, it wouldn't be the past. It would still be the now, like it's always now. So, why do people encourage us to live in the present moment or go more deeply into the now if it's always the present moment and it's always now? I mean, we've already established you can't leave it, so how can we come back to it if we never left it in the first place? Well, I see the concept of the present moment as kind of like a tool to help point us away from feeling trapped in the thoughts in our head and towards our actual experience. You see, many of us are almost constantly having our attention on thought. Our attention gets consumed by stories about the past or concerns about the future. And we consistently enter this mental landscape, these mind-made fantasies, and we get really lost in them. They almost become like whole worlds of their own. And it's the source of so much of our suffering because the thoughts are often negative and repetitive. And thought is always about future or past, even if a past only a microsecond ago. It's never about now because by the time you think about something in the now, that thing exactly as you thought of it has already passed. But even though thought is never about now, it still happens now. So technically, even if you're lost in thought, you're still in the present moment. You're still in the now, like you always were and you always will be. But as a helpful pointer, when it comes to being present, becoming present, the concept of the present moment is usually used to refer to the actual experience in your sensory perceptions, as opposed to thought. The experience of what you're seeing, hearing, and tasting and smelling, and the feelings in your body right now, without it being obscured by so much mental chatter. To be present is to be paying alert attention to your sensory experience, because although thoughts happen in the present, they're about past and future. So being aware of the present moment is being aware of what's happening now. When you're fully present with someone, You're not constantly thinking about something else or what to say next. You're fully immersed in your sensory experience, which includes the sound of their voice, sound of their words, giving rise to the rich landscape of meaning that they're expressing. When you're fully present whilst you're going for a walk, you're not stuck in your head thinking about something someone said to you yesterday. You're taking in the visual landscape of where you are. You're listening to the symphony of environmental sounds and immersing yourself in the experience without this constant commentary of labeling and judging running over the top. So, the present moment is now, and a moment is a brief period of time, right? Like a very brief period, like a slice. Like we have what we think of as now, and then we imagine the past to be this vast period of time stretching like almost infinitely behind us, and the future as a vast period stretching almost infinitely in front of us. And we imagine it's like we're moving along this timeline, like in a succession of tiny slices, like frames of a movie. Like there's loads and loads of successive nows or moments, loads of present moments. But is that how we actually experience it? When we think of something that happened yesterday, like us eating dinner, it didn't happen in a separate now with separate qualities to this now. It was the same now, the only now, except the content has changed. It's always been now, but what appears in the now is changing. Rather than the now moving through time, it's like the now is stationary and everything else moves through it. In fact, it's the only thing that never changes. Everything else in our experience changes. What we see changes, what we hear changes. Even what we think and feel changes on a moment-to-moment basis, but it's always now, and that never changes. So the present moment is referring to the only thing in our experience that never changes. It's something that we can become increasingly aware of, and there are many names for it. Some of these names are the now, presence, being, beingness, awareness, and I am. And maybe you get what I'm on about because you're already versed in teachings rooted in Eastern spirituality, or maybe you're thinking like, what the hell is he on about now? But either way, let me go further into this in future videos. And if you don't want to miss out on those, hit that like button if you like this. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new videos helping you with conscious personal growth. Peace.